Fredericktown defeated Madison Plains 45-43 in last year's sectional tournament, and this year the Golden Eagles get a rematch. It's the Freddies against Madison Plains in the Division III Sectional Championship in Region 11 Central 2, coming up next.
Alumni Roofing is a full-service commercial roofing contractor providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions. We provide service to much of north central Ohio, including areas of Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. Our services include preventative maintenance programs, roof health assessment, roof replacement, metal fabrication, and more. Call 419-884-9715 and mention this ad to receive a great free deal. Alumni Roofing would like to give a shout out to the senior class of 2021.
Knox is the third place I have delivered, and hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center, where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of boys high school tournament basketball here on the OH.Report. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from Fredericktown High School as the Fredericktown Freddies host the Madison Plains Golden Eagles. And we have heard all season long in our travels through Mount Gilead and Northmore about this Fredericktown team.
Right.
I'm excited to see this team in action tonight.
So am I. They play a style of basketball that everybody says is enjoyable to watch, and the little that I've seen them on film, they are exciting to watch. And when they're shooting the basketball well, which they have done most of the season, they are a good basketball team.
Well, all the talk around the KMAC is that it's between them and Centerburg as the two teams that are really the cream of the crop in this conference. And as you take a look at how the regular season ended, first of all, the amazing thing is both schools really got a full regular season in,
right,
because of COVID and all of that stuff, and hopefully we can get that behind us. Fredericktown finished the regular season 20-2 overall. Centerburg right behind them at 16-3. The one conference loss on each side, they split,
right,
so they're pretty even as you look at how the regular season ended up.
And that's becoming, if not already is, a tremendous rivalry. But right back on February 12th, Fredericktown was able to get revenge on Centerburg, winning the game 59-50. We saw a little bit, I believe we were at Northmore the night that the first matchup between these two schools, and OH.Report kind of had a split screen, and we were watching part of that game, and that was a nail-biter to the very end. But, yeah, I think Fredericktown, they're the only team that I know of they got 22 games in. They got the full regular season schedule in, at least up in the Mansfield area. I don't know of anybody that got 22 in.
Now, if you remember during last year's tournament, the tournament plug actually got pulled because of COVID. They were not able to finish the tournament. It looks like this year we're going to get a full tournament in.
Well, we certainly hope so. And, I know the governor the other day starting to open things up a little bit more, and the OHSAA, I'm sure, is considering opening up a little bit more as far as allowing fans into the game. It would be nice if at least we can get student body in, especially senior students that want to support their friends, their buddies. It would be nice if we could at least get that far, and, we'll take as much as we can get.
Now, there's a different excitement when it comes to tournament basketball, especially in the state of Ohio. You obviously have had very successful tournament runs, winning 2 state championships at Lexington, over 200 games at Mansfield Senior. As your teams got ready for the postseason, what things as a coach did you do differently?
Well, there's not a lot you do differently as far as game planning. You want the players to be looking one game ahead. With Fredericktown, this is a game they're the heavy favorite. And yes, they have a tough matchup. If they can get by this, they're going to have a tough matchup in the district semis. As players, you want them focused, though, on today. As a coach, maybe you start a little prep ahead so you get a little bit of a head start. But what you want the players, you want your team playing its best basketball right now. And what a lot of people don't understand, you can't play a 22-game schedule and play at the top level at your peak all 22 games. And as a coach, one of your responsibilities is you attempt to get your players playing at its best when you need them playing at your best. And certainly for Fredericktown, they want to be playing very well tonight because they have a tough road to go if they do get through tonight.
Now, you talk about teams playing at their peak, and I would have to think that's even a little bit more of a challenge now because a lot of teams rely on the three-point shot so much. You have one bad shooting night in the tournament, you're done.
Well, you're exactly right. And, tonight Fredericktown has an advantage playing at home, but after tonight it goes to a neutral court. You're going to be in surroundings where you're not as familiar with, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But Fredericktown's a perimeter shooting team, and that's the way the game is really evolving. You don't find that, and we've mentioned it. You've mentioned it before, Brian. You seldom find that back to the basket player. But with that being said, the team that can get easy baskets, whether it's steals off defense in the transition or offensive boards, that's going to help them as they continue down the road.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. The Fredericktown Freddies, as we said, 20 wins on the season. They are led by head coach Derek Dibling, Caleb Sheriff, Thomas Caputo, Ty Hatfield, Lincoln Cunningham, and Cade Carpenter, the sophomore, are the starters for the Freddies. Sheriff and Hatfield are first-team KMAC performers, and Cunningham and Carpenter are second-teamers. For Madison Plains, the lineup of Aiden Gamble, he's their best player, Ryan Ertz, Dalton Cunningham, Ty Solers, and Paul Bryant, not to be confused with the Alabama football coach. He rounds out the starting lineup for the Golden Eagles. We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem. The Freddies and the Golden Eagles in the Division III Sectional Championship in Region 11 in the Central 2 District. The winner of today's game will advance to the district semifinals to take on the Utica Canal Winchester Harvest Prep winner. That game will be Tuesday night at 7. The lower seed will host that matchup. Harvest Prep is the number 2 seed in that region, and Worthington Christian is the top seed, and they, as we speak, are playing the Northmore Golden Knights.
Well, this is a tough district. You have Fredericktown, who right now in the AP poll is ranked 6th in the state, and you would think, well, hey, you know, that's going to give us an edge for the entire district. But no, you got Harvest Prep, who, as you said, is the number 2 seed, but AP poll number 3 in the state. And then, of course, Worthington Christian, who is number 1 seed and number 1 in the state. This is as good a district when you talk about quality basketball teams as there is in the state of Ohio at any level as far as competitiveness.
And many people outside of Knox County may not realize Fredericktown really has a solid tradition when it comes to basketball. I remember covering teams back in the 90s when Chuck Daniels was leading this team down to Athens and playing at OU. This is a team that when they can get things going, the community really gets behind this program. And they've had some solid basketball players and coaches come through this school.
Well, you know, the little I know of Fredericktown, I've always thought of Fredericktown that they just have a good sports program. Football's been good. All their sports have been good. They have a great community right here. And as you said, they do have a great community following, and that's just too bad. Today, this gym would be packed. And if they can get by today, certainly going down to Harvest Prep, if that's who I expect them to have to play, that place would be packed.
Fredericktown is the 6th seed in their bracket, 20-2, 13-1 in their conference. They're playing Madison Plains, the 13 seed, 9-11 on the regular season, and they're 6-10 out of the Ohio Heritage Conference. They compete in the Southern Division of that conference, which also consists of Springfield Central Catholic, Cedarville, Jamestown Greenview, Springfield Greenon, and Southeastern. So they're from down around the Springfield area. And they're a team that last year they gave the Freddies a run in the sectional championship, only losing that game by 2. This year, though, it seems to be a little bit different, at least on paper.
Well, I think you're right. And, you know, I don't envy Madison Plains. It was over an hour and a half drive up here. But you're talking about Fredericktown and Northmore are as far north in the central district as you can get. Just north here of Fredericktown is Belleville. They're in the northwest district. You're talking Madison Plains. They can't be too far from the southeast or the southwest district. So a long distance to come for a sectional basketball game, but, you know, they make this trip. And, you know, I don't want to cut them short. I mean, they are 9-11, a 13 seed out of 23 teams. So obviously the coaches had respect for them, or otherwise, you know, they had a much worse seeding.
Now they also have a local tie. Nathan Warner, their head coach, played basketball right down the road at Mount Vernon Nazarene College.
Yeah, and I just happened to walk in with his wife tonight, and she was saying it was somewhat of a homecoming because both her and, as you said, her husband graduated from Mount Vernon Nazarene. And, you know, maybe they took a little tour, took that little yellow school bus, took a little tour of the Nazarene campus to see if it's changed at all.
The Freddies, they're under the direction of Derek Dibbling in his 5th season as their head coach. They're 61-53 under Dibbling. He's a 2001 graduate of Ridgedale, where he was part of a 25-1 district championship team. He graduated from Ohio State and coached at Amanda Clear Creek prior to coming here to Fredericktown, and this might arguably be the best team that he has had since he's been here.
Well, 20-2 is not bad, but obviously he's a guy that has experience, those back as a part of the Ridgedale program and getting to the regionals. I'm just a little concerned, Brian, because I know I know you're a big Michigan fan. You're not going to hold this against him, are you?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay, all right. So
but you do notice I did not say the Ohio State University.
Well, hey, whatever we can get from you, they understand.
Well, we're just about ready for the opening tip-off in this sectional title game between Fredericktown and Madison Plains. And the tip will be controlled by the Golden Eagles. That's Aiden Gamble. He's their leading ball player, their leading scorer, does a little bit of everything at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he's shooting over 36% from the three, so obviously a very good shooter, someone that Fredericktown's going to have to contest shooting-wise.
And the first three of the ball game is by Gamble.
And again, that's one you want to make sure you have a hand up. Just a little late on the closeout right there, but he's one that can, consistently, it looks like, has shot the ball well.
Madison Plains comes out zone.
Yeah, and you see it's an odd man front, a three-man front, and I'm sure that's the matchup because Fredericktown has so many shooters.
First three launched by Lincoln Cunningham doesn't go, and the Golden Eagles secure the rebound, so they get what they want. They get a rush shot, limit it to one try, and then they're back at the offensive end.
Exactly. Now Fredericktown had great ball, and there he is. I said that, playing at home is an advantage. Well, maybe he thinks he's playing back in Madison Plains. But those were two big shots from the same area. Now, the last time Fredericktown had real good ball reversal. They got the shot. A good shot for them, and it was all because of quick ball reversal because the ball will move quicker than the defensive players can.
A shot fake by Carpenter, and Carpenter gets on the board and gets the Freddies on the board as well.
And you can see Fredericktown averages close to 60 points a game, which is a good 10, 11 points more than Madison Plains. You can see where Fredericktown probably wants to speed the tempo a little bit, and thus they go with a little full-court pressure.
Gamble misfires his first miss inside the paint after connecting on 2 threes. But he bats the ball around. It's controlled by the Freddies.
You don't see a lot of odd man fronts. Now, some people could call it a 1-2-2, whatever it is, but it's an odd man front, and again, I'm sure to match up with shooters.
Cunningham misfires from the perimeter, but the foul away from the ball is going to go against the Freddies. Foul called on that'll be Caleb Sheriff, his first. Sollers wears number 4 for the Golden Eagles. Left open in the corner, but a misfire by Dalton Cunningham.
Both teams are on the run, looking to penetrate and not afraid to kick it out to shooters.
Carpenter can't handle the ball, and it's turned over. Golden Eagles with a 4-point lead, 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Gamble loses the handle.
Yeah, you can tell it's tournament time. Players are on the floor. They know it's win and survive. Survive and advance.
Sollers is going to get the bucket and the foul, so Ty Sollers, the junior, will go to the line for the Golden Eagles.
And that was a good quick blow-by right there. He just had a little bit of an angle and took it strong to the basket, collects the foul and makes the basket.
Ty Sollers, a junior on the Golden Eagles program, averages about 3.8 points per ball game.
Unfortunately for Fredericktown, they have 2 fouls, but both of those are with Sheriff. And as you mentioned, Brian, he's a first-team all-conference player. So it's tough to put him on the bench, but you got to do it early with 2.
Another foul. This one will go against the Golden Eagles. And it will send Cade Carpenter, a 51% free throw shooter. And that might be one of the flaws to this Fredericktown team. They have three of their frontline players that are shooting about 50% from the free throw line. He makes that one.
Well, you're exactly right. You know, especially if they're able to advance, you want to take advantage of every freebie that you can get. But let's look at their last two really tough opponents. They lost to Granville last week. They shot 50% from the foul line. They beat Centerburg a couple of weeks ago, but only shot 58%. So I'm sure that's one area where Coach wants to see some improvement, consistently shooting the ball better from the free throw line.
Golden Eagles do a pretty good job against the pressure of Fredericktown, and they still have that 4-point lead. Sollers gives it up to Cunningham, and Cunningham with the nice little running hook inside the lane.
And they do a good job of passing the basketball, handling the basketball, and taking good shot selection.
Carpenter misfires from outside, and another rebound comes down to the Golden Eagles.
A good start. You know, we talked about earlier, Brian, that, you know, one of the keys today is a good start, especially for Madison Plains. Give them confidence that, yeah, they can play with this Fredericktown team, and certainly they're showing that they can.
Three in the corner is good, and they're hot from the outside. Gabe Garrison, the senior.
And Sollers with a good penetration kick and another turnover.
So Fredericktown struggling to take care of the basketball. It's poked out of bounds. It's going to go off of Thomas Caputo. And don't look now, but Madison Plains with a 13-4 lead.
Yeah, I was one talking about being the underdog. Well, they're playing hungry right now. They're playing hard.
But you also mentioned they're a 13 seed out of 23 teams, so there is that respect that this team is a little better than their record might indicate.
Well, and I don't know much about their opponents down in that area. I know Cedarville is quite a basketball team, the high school as well as the university. But you know, to be 9-11, the way I've seen here early, they play very good competition. And it looks like now they're, you know, maybe running just a little bit of clock, making Fredericktown play a little bit of defense. Again, you spend more energy on defense than you do on offense. Obviously, you have to react. So Fredericktown, trying to speed things up, comes out and tries to do a little trapping.
Well, they're going to call a foul on Fredericktown. It looks like it's going to go on Caputo. That's his first personal, the third team foul for the Freddies.
Looks like Fredericktown maybe is back into a little zone right now. A 2-3, getting the guards out high, which is fine. You certainly want a very nice pass.
Nice look inside move. And a foul. Garrison off the bench has 5 points. He'll look for 6 from the line.
And again, Ty Sollers with the pass. That was an outstanding pass. That's his second outstanding pass for a good look at the basket. And a tough move.
Garrison connects on the free throw. And don't look now, a timeout as the hometown Freddies down by 12. And as we talked about, it takes one bad shooting night. Right. And you're done in the tournament, whether you've got 20 wins or 9. It doesn't matter in the postseason.
Well, exactly. Everybody starts back 0-0. But to add to your comment, one bad shooting night or the other team, one exceptional shooting night. I don't know their overall stats, but Madison Plains right now is shooting the ball at a very high percentage. They're getting good looks, and again, most of it because of Sollers with his penetration and his passing, but also, is it Gamble? Is that how you pronounce it? I mean, his looks outside, you could tell that he has great range, but we're looking at a Madison Plains team that, to me, looks like they have some very, very skilled basketball players. They come out now into maybe it looks like a 1-3-1 after the timeout. They change things up a little bit.
Cunningham with the short jumper from the baseline.
And that was big. Big to get a basket after the timeout here. And, again, try to force a turnover on their presser.
Garrison open again from three. This time it rims out, but an offensive rebound down to the Golden Eagles.
That time, though, he just wasn't able to get his feet set like he was on the previous three.
So Ryan Ernst will slow it down with a minute and a half to go in the quarter. Garrison thought about the three, but they're going to be very patient at the offensive end of the floor.
Well, if you have the ball handlers, hey, that's great. Make them play defense. You know, put the longer they're in the basketball game and, you know, with a 10-point lead, the more pressure you're putting on the favorite. And they pass the ball extremely well. You know, they got three guys out here that all handle the ball extremely well. You know, you can tell this is something they didn't just start today, that they have done this before this season. Good trap by Fredericktown.
Ball's going to be on the ground. The possession arrow. Well, they don't have the possession arrow up on the scoreboard, so it's going to stay, it looks like.
Should go Fredericktown. I think Madison Plains won the tip. So, yeah, Fredericktown has it, and again, great hustle. That is at least the second time that I've seen a Freddie on the floor, and Lincoln Cunningham is the one that always seems to be scraping his knees and getting on the floor after the loose ball. Again, 1-3-1 defense. A lot of times the diagonal pass is going to be open.
Nice look inside, and another bucket by Cade Carpenter.
And Cade is one that can do some damage inside. They all can shoot outside.
Carpenter now with 8, and the press results in a turnover. And don't look now, but it's a 6-point lead. And the Freddies are making their defense count here in the first quarter. Off-balance shot by Andrew Hunt doesn't go, and a whistle on a traveling violation.
That was a tough call. I don't know if he got bumped or what, getting the defensive rebound right there. But, again, you can see where Fredericktown wants to speed them up a little bit, and their pressure was able to do it. Good out-of-bounds play. Very nice out-of-bounds play there in the closing seconds.
Well, Fredericktown made a little run in the first quarter, but the Golden Eagles end with an 8-point lead, 18-10 as we head to the second. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
Knox is the third place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
Alumni Roofing is a full-service commercial roofing contractor providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions. We provide service to much of north central Ohio, including areas of Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. Our services include preventative maintenance programs, roof health assessment, roof replacement, metal fabrication, and more.
Fredericktown down by 8 as we start the second quarter. Cade Carpenter with an 8-point first quarter, but Gabe Garrison with 8 points for the Golden Eagles. And Madison Plains has to be very pleased with how the first quarter unfolded in this first round matchup in the tournament against Fredericktown, but it's going to be a turnover and the ball's going to go back to the Freddies.
Well, and if I'm a Fredericktown fan, I wouldn't get overly concerned right now. I mean, it's a lot of basketball to play. Last night, one of the top seeds in Division II, Shelby, was down 3 at the end of the first quarter, won by 32. But I'll tell you, Madison Plains is playing well. Nice. Fredericktown, the last 5 or 6 possessions, has really got things going. Very nice pass, nice strong move inside.
Lincoln Cunningham gets his first bucket of the ball game, and the Freddy's now within 6. Gamble with the left hand, doesn't go, but an offensive putback up and in by Paul Bryant. They're getting balanced scoring. Gamble is their only double-figure scorer on the season at 15.5 points a game, and everybody else is right around 4 to 7 points.
But as he drove that time, Fredericktown was so concerned, everybody kind of collapsed on him. No box out, offensive putback. I think this zone maybe has Fredericktown perplexed just a little bit.
Three-pointer in the air by Sheriff doesn't go, but an offensive rebound out of the hands of Cade Carpenter, and here come the Golden Eagles. Another miss, and Fredericktown pushes up the floor. Nice pass, a little long, and a foul underneath as Cade Carpenter tried to go up to the basket, and he's going to go to the line.
I think the key on that, you said a nice pass, but Cade Carpenter with a nice catch. That's not an easy pass to catch on the run, but he was able to catch it and get his feet under him and a chance to go to the free throw line right now.
Carpenter scores about 11 points a game. It was a second-team K-Max selection. He's perfect from the line.
And, you know, these free throws are, again, we've talked about the importance of free throws, but right now, their pressure full court Fredericktown's giving Madison Plains seems to giving Madison Plains a little bit of trouble. So able to score right here gives them a chance to get into that pressure and cause some turnovers or at least maybe speed things up tempo-wise.
Carpenter now with 10. And the Freddies are now back to within 6. 3 in the air and another misfire. So after a hot start from the perimeter, Madison Plains has gone cold from the field, and another foul and a turnover, and the ball will go back to Fredericktown.
But if you're Fredericktown, you don't want to give Gamble that good of a look. That's a good look for him from the three, and it looked like from the same spot that he hit the previous two early in the first quarter.
The foul was on Paul Bryant. That's his second.
It looks like right now that they're playing, I would call it, I guess, a 1-3-1, but they're really trying to take away any ball reversal.
Inside to Carpenter from the right block, and it doesn't go, but he's going to go back to the line. So it looks like they're really trying to work the offense in this zone through Carpenter.
Right, and I think that's a smart idea. I mean, again, the zone was getting good pressure, getting a hand up on perimeter shooters. So, hey, if you have the ability to go inside, go inside. Over the last couple of minutes of the first quarter and so far here in the second, it looks like Fredericktown is really trying to pound that ball in. And they're going to the foul line because of it.
His first miss from the line, but another steal, and it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Fredericktown. So the Freddies chipping away here in the second quarter. They were down by 8 to start the period, and now it's a 5-point ball game.
And again, a lot of basketball left. Ooh, how'd that pass get through there?
And Carpenter wide open for three, but he can't connect, and it comes down right into the hands of Ty Hatfield, and a foul. The ball came right down into Ty Hatfield's lap, and he's going to end up at the line. And a timeout taken with 5:14 to go, and Fredericktown now really with a serious threat as they have pulled to within 3.
Well, and Ty Hatfield, as you said, the offensive rebound putback. And I don't know the young man, but let me tell you what I've read about him. He's shooting just under 50% from the three, which is unbelievable. But he averages just under 5 assists a game. So he must be a very unselfish player. But I'll tell you what, where I could not talk to this young man, he's an all-academic conference player also. So he'd be above my level as someone that I would not want to talk with. He would make me look bad. But obviously a very sound young man.
First team all KMAC performer, averages 11.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, and as you mentioned, just under 5 assists per ball game. And that's the one thing that I've noticed. They really do a nice job as he converts on the three-point play. They do a nice job of moving the ball around, very unselfish.
They do, yes. I agree. Thus, they're 20-2.
Yes. And now with an opportunity with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter to either tie it with a 2 or take the lead with a 3.
And again, it's their pressure that does it.
Yeah, you can have off nights shooting the basketball, but their pressure defensively is what got them back into this ball game. They created turnovers. They sped Madison Plains up. It really took them out of the offensive rhythm that they had early in the first quarter.
And, we mentioned earlier, you want to, especially come tournament time, but really any basketball game, if you can, the more easy baskets you can get, and you can get easy baskets by forcing some turnovers and getting some easy looks at the basket, the better your offensive efficiency is going to be.
Carpenter misses a little runner in the lane, so the Freddies will have to wait to try to take the lead here in the second quarter.
Looks like a set play right there for a three-point shot, but Fredericktown defended it well. It looks like a continuity right here.
Garrison misfires from outside. And Caputo pushes. 3 in the air by Sheriff doesn't go, but a rebound by Hatfield puts it up. Can't get it to go. And the Freddies with another offensive putback. They are fighting relentlessly on the boards. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to go over to Madison Plains. There you see the heart and the hustle that this team plays with.
Well, exactly. As I mentioned, they've been on the floor already. Here's great hustle for offensive boards. I agree with you. I don't think they're shooting the ball as well tonight as they normally have, but they're doing other things to be in this basketball game.
Garrison, who has played very well early on, has cooled off in the second quarter from outside.
You can see where Madison Plains likes to go with 5 out on this set. And again, they dribble penetrate well. They shoot the ball pretty well, so they're going to be patient, try to get a good look.
Well, one of the things that we have really talked about all season, the hands defensively for Fredericktown. Very active.
Yeah, they are. They are. And we don't see that all the time, and that's a sound of well-coached basketball team. Not a lot of teams can hold the ball this long without making a mistake.
Well, they missed on a very short runner in the lane, and now the Freddies with 3 minutes to go with another chance to either tie it or take the lead. I really like this Fredericktown. They don't force anything.
No.
Nice cut on the baseline, and right there to follow it is Carpenter, and they're now tied at 20.
And Fredericktown doing a much better job on the offensive and defensive boards and causing the turnover.
Ball out of bounds, and it goes back to the Freddies, and now they have a chance to take the lead.
And I think it was, 4 or 5 minutes of game clock ago that it was a 10-point lead or an 8-point lead at least. So they're just chipping away.
Little short jumper doesn't go by Sheriff, who has really struggled to get going. Sheriff averages almost 14 a game. He has been held scoreless, but we're tied at 20 with 2:23 to go before halftime. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins in a sectional championship game between Fredericktown and Madison Plains, and it has been a good one here in the first half. Madison Plains came to play.
They did.
Ball kicked, going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Golden Eagles.
I thought they might call a kick, but they just award the ball back here in the backcourt, which helps Fredericktown. Now they get a chance to get up the court and defensively get in the ball handler's pocket. Looks like right now they're going man-to-man, though.
Winner of this game will take on the Utica Canal Winchester Harvester Prep winner, which we would guess would be Harvester Prep. Harvest Prep, excuse me. Another turnover, and the Freddies have numbers at the other end. And a foul as the Fredericktown Freddies now have the lead, and Thomas Caputo goes to the line.
And the few fans that we have here are excited about the play over the last 4 or 5 minutes, as Fredericktown has certainly regained momentum that Madison Plains had early. Now, if you're Madison Plains, hey, that's already your 7th team foul. So Fredericktown will be at the line the last minute 52 here, but they got to be able to take advantage of it, as you said.
Caputo, one of those guys who struggles from the line, 48%. Bounces that one off the back of the iron. It's out of bounds. It'll go to Madison Plains. So the Freddies now with the lead. And I'll tell you what, this might be the loudest gym we've been in all year.
It might be. It might be.
It's not even filled to half capacity, but the people that are here are into the ball game.
And Madison Plains brought some parents. Long way to come from Springfield area.
Sollers slips, but they're going to call a foul. Looks like that's going to go on Caputo, and he's not happy.
Well, that's his second foul, so some coaches like to get a guy out when they have 2 fouls in the first half, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. It is a great feeling to start the second half with less than 3 fouls.
Caleb Burns into the lineup for the Freddies for the final minute and a half. Nice dish inside and a nice finish.
That was a nice play. Came off an off-the-ball screen, caught the ball, dribble penetrated, and a nice bounce pass for a finish.
Andrew Hunt with his first points of the ball game, a misfired 3 from Cunningham, and here come the Golden Eagles with a chance to regain the lead. And I'm going to guess they're going to try to be very patient and perhaps work for the last shot of the half.
If they could, and again, how many teams have we seen this year that could not hold the ball for a minute? This team with 3 ball handlers, not bad in the half court. In the full court, Fredericktown's had some good enough pressure where they've caused some turnovers. Here in the half court, though, Madison Plains doing a much better job handling the ball. Again, penetration, kick, just a nice pass. Ty Solers is about as good a passer when he gets his feet inside the lane as we've seen this year.
Cunningham gives Madison Plains the lead again at 24-22. Short baseline jumper and right into the ball game. Caleb Burns gets his first bucket of the night, and we're tied again at 24.
So with under 10 seconds to go, what kind of a shot is Plains going to get?
Gamel off the runner, and that's not an easy shot, but he gets it to drop. And that is going to do it. Madison Plains up by 2 as we head to the intermission. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
Alumni Roofing is a full-service commercial roofing contractor providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions. We provide service to much of north central Ohio, including areas of Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. Our services include preventative maintenance programs, roof health assessment, roof replacement, metal fabrication, and more. Call 419-884-9715 and mention this ad to receive a great free deal. Alumni Roofing would like to give a shout out to the senior class of 2021.
Knox is the 3rd place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
No paywalls, just live sports. Exclusively on the OH.Report.
It's halftime here at this sectional championship in Division III, Region 11, the Central 2 district. Fredericktown, the number 6 seed, taking on Madison Plains, the 13 seed. And I think somebody forgot to tell the Golden Eagles they're the 13 seed.
I think you're right, but I'll tell you, I'm impressed.
I am too.
With a team that's 9-11, how well they do so many things. They handle the ball well. They pass the ball well. Their shot selection is outstanding. I'm very impressed with that 9-11 team. And of course, you have to be impressed with Fredericktown. They're probably not playing their A game right now. They still have another half to go. You want to come up, obviously, with a victory. But as we talked about before, you also want to build momentum into the districts when you have the quality opponents as one of those two teams is going to see.
As we take a look at the first half numbers, Madison Plains shot the ball very well, especially in that first quarter. You see 8 field goals and 3 threes. They were really hot from outside early. The Fredericktown Freddies really got back into it, not from behind the three-point line, but at the free throw line. They kept going inside, and it paid off. They were 6 of 8 from the line. They've out-rebounded Madison Plains by 2. The turnovers, though, were also part of what got Fredericktown back into it, especially in the second quarter.
Right. When Fredericktown is able to get their pressure to the full court, they're doing an outstanding job. They're causing turnovers. They're speeding Madison Plains up. But if Madison Plains is able to break that pressure, a couple of times they've been able to convert for some nice looks, but other times they've been able to pull the ball out in the half court and be patient. So I would think that if you're Fredericktown, you're talking right now, hey, our full court pressure defensively is good. Let's continue to give great pressure on the ball, even though Madison Plains has the ability, especially, Saulers and Gamble, that can dribble penetrate. Let's stay in front of them, but let's give them some defensive pressure and maybe deny a little bit more if they could. But especially if you're Fredericktown, you don't expect to have 0 threes at halftime.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the course, especially in the second half. This team is too good of a shooting basketball team to go over in the three-point area. Gabe Garrison leads Madison Plains with 9 points. Aiden Gamble, their leading scorer, with 8. And for Fredericktown, Cade Carpenter with a very good first half. He's got 13 to lead all scores, and Ty Hatfield with a quiet 5. But again, this team is too good. And we've seen this with a couple of teams that we've watched this year that gotten off to slow starts, and you're just kind of waiting for that moment when they can put together that 8-0 run, that 10-2 run, and then really start to separate themselves. And Fredericktown is that kind of team.
Well, they certainly are. And they had a mini spurt there in the second quarter to have an 8-point deficit to catch up in about a 2 or 3 minute span, where during that time, Madison Plains got very few shots at the basket and no really good shots at the basket, and that's what Fredericktown wants to continue. But again, if I'm Fredericktown, I want to be playing good basketball. Again, if they're able to win this, their district semifinal opponent is quite good, and you want to be playing outstanding basketball, and that's only 3 days away. So it's important, I think, for Fredericktown. Obviously, number one, hey, win the basketball game. But number two, you got to play well. You got to shoot the ball well. You got to handle the ball well. Now, it's not because of lack of effort.
No. Oh, no.
Because they're playing hard.
They're playing hard. They're all over the floor. And I think that zone that Madison Plains came out with really gave them fits.
I think you're right. And you would think that a zone is just what a good perimeter shooting team wants to see, but this was an odd front zone. And they're able to match up with shooters and not give a lot of good looks. And the few good looks that Fredericktown had, they weren't able to convert. But they were disciplined enough to take the ball inside there. And hey, if the outside shot, if it's defended, let's pound it in, and they had some success with that.
Last year, the Freddies were the number 10 seed. They defeated Madison Plains in the first round of the tournament before losing to an 8 seed Northmore team, 63-54. They want to make a deeper tournament run this year, and in order to do that, they're going to have to knock off a surprisingly tough Madison Plains team here, and they've got 2 quarters of basketball left to do it, and they're going to start the third quarter off with a turnover.
And Madison Plains comes out in a 1-3-1, which they did the last few minutes of that second quarter. But here's where I think Fredericktown can maybe create some easy baskets by getting some steals, getting some rebound, and really running with it. But Madison Plains showed great patience in the first half. It looks like they're going to be patient in the half court here.
You don't see this a lot anymore in high school basketball in the age of the three-point shot. You see teams that just come out and want to fire up threes. Madison Plains, maybe part of this is just adapting to their opponent, and you're going to see a turnover here as Madison Plains, and you talked about being able to hold the basketball for a long period of time. There they turn it over. And
that's not easy for high school kids to do. But I'll tell you, I am someone that would love to see a shot clock in high school. I think this is smart what Madison Plains is doing, but I would love to see a shot clock personally.
Well, they also understand the longer they're in this game, you never know what can happen.
Exactly. When you're the underdog, no question.
They look to get it into Carpenter, who had a very solid first half. He dumps it down. A nice pass inside to Lincoln Cunningham.
And you're right. And we have seen from both teams, some very nice interior passing. And again, that's so difficult to do when there's all these bodies around that make a pinpoint pass.
Three-pointer, and that's how they started the first half. Ryan Ernst with his first bucket of the game.
And that was a great look. Anytime you can get an inside-out pass for a three, that's the type of three you want to shoot if you have a capable shooter. And even though Ernst averages around, 5 points a game, he shot that with a lot of confidence.
Fredericktown still trying to figure this zone. A long three in the air doesn't go, but an offensive rebound out to Cunningham. He misfires, and Madison Plains secure the rebound, but it's going to be then a tie-up, and the ball's going to go to the Golden Eagles.
Now, if you're Fredericktown, you certainly don't want to get frustrated. It's only a three-point game, a lot of basketball to go. Play hard, but don't get frustrated.
Gamel open for three.
And that's a good look.
And Hatfield with the backside rebound, and he's fouled.
And if you're Madison Plains, your patience has been very good, but that's too good of a look. You got to take that shot, and that was a good, again, inside-out pass for a good look to a good shooter.
Foul on Ty Sollers. That's his first.
Looks like Madison Plains has changed up their defense a little bit. Now they're back to more of a sagging 3-2 defense. Going to match up with shooters on the perimeter.
Caleb Sheriff, who has been very quiet, he has been held scoreless. First team All-KMAC selection. Hatfield for three.
Big shot. Big shot. The ball movement was not outstanding. He had to step back a couple of feet from the three-point line, but a big shot.
Ball tipped out of bounds by Sheriff, and although he's not contributing at the offensive end, that's a nice defensive play to keep Madison Plains from regaining the lead.
Well, you're right. It was a 2-on-1. If you can get a deflection on the ball, that's a win for you. And
because his hands are up.
Exactly. Active hands like we talk about. You're right.
Gamel for three from the corner. Madison Plains not going away. That's the third three of the ball game for Aiden Gamel.
And you can tell he's a confident shooter. He's a good shooter. And again, as we've mentioned, Madison Plains passes the ball so well, they'll find shooters if they're open.
Gamel, a 36% three-point shooter on the season. He's got three tonight. And the Freddies answer at the other end. That's Lincoln Cunningham.
And that was a good ball reversal, quick ball reversal to get the ball into the corner to Lincoln, who had the option of taking the shot, which he did, or probably dribble penetrating.
Gamel thought about the three.
And that shows you his discipline. That would not have been as good a look as he's had.
Off balance shot by Solers doesn't go, and the Fredericktown Freddies now with a chance to regain the lead.
I think Fredericktown had a lead for probably under, 30 seconds there in the second quarter.
Sheriff with a long three. His first points of the ball game, and it puts the Freddies back up by 2.
And I think, the second three for Freddie today, and again, big shot.
Well, they had no threes in the first half. They've got 2 in the third quarter, and they're up by 2 with 3:14 to go in the period.
And I think Coach is doing a good job. The players started running back a little bit, but Coach wants them to get up into pressure. And again, their pressure has been so good.
Look at the hustle.
2 Fredericktown players on the ground.
That is what tournament basketball is all about, and the fans here give it up for the Freddies.
And as a fan, as broadcasters, as fans, it's fun to watch, isn't it?
Well, and
it's
as
fun
a coach,
to watch young people sacrifice like that.
Yes, and as a coach, you love to see your players doing that.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you what, Thomas Caputo is all over the place.
Well, that last three has given them a lot of momentum.
Hatfield inside, and the Freddies are going to force a timeout as the Fredericktown Freddies now up by 4 with 2:43 to go, and you can just feel the energy that's coming from the white side of the benches there tonight for Fredericktown.
Well, they got old Mo on their side, and, it's nothing like a momentum as one of your teammates. Good timeout by Madison Plains. Again, it's not a big crowd because of COVID, but it's a loud crowd, and the Fredericktown fans were getting into it because of how hard their kids are playing. Need to break momentum a little bit as Madison Plains, so a good timeout here.
Fredericktown has trailed through much of this ball game and looking like now they might be poised to put together a run and build a little bit of a lead here as we approach the fourth quarter. The winner of this game would take on probably Harvest Prep in a game that they're playing Utica right now.
You're talking about at least 3 teams, and I'm not sure who the fourth one would be, but Worthington Christian, Harvest Prep, and the winner of this, if it's Fredericktown, 3 state-ranked teams in the top 6 in the same district. Well, it's back to man pressure, so Gamble just tells them to clear out, and he'll handle it. You can see what that timeout did. It's not quite as loud in here right now.
Ball batted away. Up ahead to Caputo. And Gamel doesn't give up on the play, chases down Sheriff, but he commits the foul and doesn't give up the easy basket.
And again, it's offense created from solid defense. They're forcing some turnovers, and they're getting some good runouts because of it. And tonight they're hitting their free throws.
Sheriff now with 4 points, all of those in this quarter after being shut out in the first half.
And by making that, it gives them a chance to get into their pressure. They were man, now they're going back to, it looks like a little bit of a zone where they might do some trapping if they can.
Largest lead of the day for the Freddies. They're up by 8. Garrison for 3. And Hatfield secures the rebound.
And Fredericktown is dominating on the boards this half.
Fredericktown being now a little bit more deliberate at the offensive end. It's a lot easier to do that when you've got the lead.
Well, it is. And you want to be patient, but you don't want to take the fight out of your guys. So, hey, try to figure things out, but still let's execute. Let's try to get good looks at the basket. Now there's 1:17 left. Maybe they'll think about it and say, well, hey, if they're going to play zone, we'll attack that fourth quarter with at least a 6-point lead. Looks like Madison Plains is going to change their defense a little bit. Looks like they're back to the 1-3-1 where they're trying to deny ball reversal. At least it makes it tough for them.
Now we're under a minute. Madison Plains was up by 8 after 1 and up by 2 at the half, and they will trail going into the fourth quarter. And the ball knocked away, and Madison Plains gets it back with 30 seconds to go.
So will they hold for the last shot, it looks like. And it's so hard to hold the ball for a good length of time. If you're Madison Plains, you'd love to get Gamble with a good look.
Instead, he drives inside. He was going to go to the line, and he thought he was going to try to complete a three-point play.
Now, it was a nice move. Got strong to the basket. Almost had a three-point play out of it, but maybe a little bit early. There's still 9 seconds left. It's going to give Fredericktown a chance to get a good look right here. If they can get a rebound or at least take it out.
Jamel misfires on his first free throw. He's got 11 on the day. The foul was called on Cade Carpenter, his second. He misses both free throws.
This is big. If they can get a good look right here, and it looks like they're going to get a good shot.
3 in the air by Cunningham, doesn't go, and that's going to do it. 3 quarters in the books. Fredericktown up by 6. As we head to the fourth quarter, you're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
Knox is the third place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
Alumni Roofing is a full-service commercial roofing contractor providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions. We provide service to much of north central Ohio, including areas of Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. Our services include preventative maintenance programs, roof health assessment, roof replacement, metal fabrication, and more. Call 419-884-9715 and mention this ad to receive a great free deal. Alumni Roofing would like to give a shout out to the senior class of 2021.
The Freddies with a 14-6 third quarter, and they'll take a 38-32 lead into the final 8 minutes.
Which is their biggest lead of the night. So we'll see how they want to handle it here. Again, I would doubt, and again, yeah, good look.
Hatfield launches a 3, it drops his second of the half.
I was hoping they weren't going to just sit on the ball, and they didn't. They came out, and, patience is okay. Find a good look, and that was a good look.
Largest lead for Fredericktown. They're up by 9 in a reach on the drive by Gamble. And that's on Caputo, and that's his second. No, it's his third.
Well, Fredericktown has put together 2 good quarters defensively. Well, you said 6 points in the third they gave up and 8 points in the second. So after the first quarter, they've put up 2 very good defensive quarters, and now they're starting to hit their threes.
Ball batted away by Hatfield. And Hatfield finishes at the other end.
And I'll tell you why that was a good, strong move to the basket. As he got close to the basket, he leaned into the defense, put his body into the defense, and then went up with it. If you put your body into the defense, it's tough for the defense to react, to jump, to try to block it.
Hatfield now with 15. And a missed layup by Ty Sellers, but a turnover by Fredericktown. And here come the Golden Eagles trying to trim an 11-point deficit. It's like they're going to call a kick on Cade Carpenter.
Now, the entire game, Madison Plains is playing zone. It'll be interesting to see right now. They might have to come out and start playing some man-to-man, giving a little bit more pressure, because Fredericktown showed that, hey, we're not going to hold the ball, but we're going to be very patient and get the shot, the look that we want when we're on offense. So it'll be interesting here, make or miss once Fredericktown takes over, how Madison Plains wants to play.
Golden Eagles with only 2 team fouls here in the second half. The Freddies still very stingy in the half court defensively. Hatfield clears a rebound.
Every shot that Madison Plains takes, Fredericktown has a hand in the face. Good closeouts.
The block on the three-point attempt by Carpenter.
That's one of the few rebounds that Madison Plains has this second half. Looks like they're going to go to a set play right here. Fredericktown's man-to-man has been very, very good.
Almost a turnover into the hands of Caputo. Got a nice look inside and a bucket by Dalton Cunningham. Cunningham now with 6 timeout on the floor, 5:31 to go. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from Fredericktown. This boys high school tournament basketball game brought to you by Knox Community Hospital, where they're always elevating care. Visit kch.org to put your health first. And by Alumni Roofing, providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions to much of north central Ohio, including Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. And today's player of the game will be brought to you by Alumni Roofing, committed to quality, customer service, safety, and community. This has been a pretty good matchup, this 13 and 6 seeded matchup between the Freddies and the Golden Eagles, and the Fredericktown Freddies now starting to pull away a little bit here in the fourth quarter, as we expected them to. But Madison Plains, for the first 3 quarters, they really played with a lot of grit and determination, and through some things at Fredericktown, especially with that zone that I think maybe the Fredericktown Freddies just weren't ready for at the moment. But
they certainly didn't execute well against it as well as they would like. But you're right. Madison Plains has surprised me for a 9-11 team how good they are. I'm sure it didn't surprise the Fredericktown coaches, as not only this year's film, I'm sure they prepared, but they played them last year, so they knew what to expect. But Madison Plains has put up a good battle. I thought they'd come out here and maybe go man-to-man, but they're coming out again with their 1-3-1, extending it a little bit. Trying to, again, take away ball reversal if they can. It looks like they're going to try to be a little bit more aggressive.
Nice look inside to Sheriff.
That was, and again, it shows you the unselfish play. Penetrate to the paint, draw the defense, kick for a good look inside.
Caleb Sheriff now with 7, all of those in the second half. A low pass inside that was really hard for Dalton Cunningham to handle, and a foul on the play.
Well, with 4:43 left in this game, that's only 3 team fouls on Fredericktown, 2 on Madison Plains. So both teams can be aggressive. If you're Madison Plains, you better be aggressive here.
It's the 3rd foul on Cade Carpenter, a block, and here come the Freddies. Up ahead to Carpenter, and he's going to be fouled. He'll go to the line. It's going to be called on Paul Bryant.
And again, Fredericktown's man defense continues to be very, very solid. Creates the the turnover, the block shot, and the run out.
Carpenter, the sophomore. Yeah, oh, by the way, Carpenter only a sophomore.
Yeah, well, hopefully by next year, and I'm sure by next year, Fredericktown fans will be able to come in the game and see this young man play.
Misses both free throws, but an offensive rebound by Cunningham keeps it at this end, and that's Sheriff who misfires. Carpenter, though, fights for the offensive rebound, can't get it to drop.
Being aggressive on the offensive boards, that's a key.
But there's Caputo with another steal. And it doesn't go, but he's going to go to the line and look for two.
Here's the replay of that, and the ball's just a little bit too far out in front, and he takes advantage, and great steal and a good run out.
Caputo, a 5'10 senior.
I think the coaching staff for Fredericktown is sitting a little bit more easy right now. Their kids have played hard the entire game, and in a 32-minute game, and right now in 28 minutes, I think the better team is showing they're the better team right now.
Can you think back to one of those tournament games where you, on paper, clearly had the better team, but you guys struggled and had to pull one out?
No question. A bunch of them. And I can think of some where we lost to a Cincinnati Moeller team where we had a lead late and lost. My players tell me that's when I started coaching. And as coaches, you go through the whole gamut. This is a key shot.
And Garrison can't connect.
And I can't say it enough. Fredericktown has just dominated this half on the boards. Any shot that Madison Plains gets, and they're not getting a lot of looks, but any shots that they get, Fredericktown's giving them just one look each time down if they don't steal the ball.
Carpenter puts it on the floor, looks inside, lays it up and in, does Lincoln Cunningham. And a technical foul is going to be called on Fredericktown.
I don't know if he said something or what, but it doesn't take away from what we see the replay. Just a very good
I think you may have seen Cunningham kind of say something to the Madison Plains player as he was running up the floor.
Right.
And that's why they teed him up. So Gamel's going to go to the line. He's 0 for 2 from the stripe today.
I don't want to excuse that, but let me just say that these young kids as well as adults, the games are emotion.
It is emotion.
Now, you don't want to make somebody else look bad. I understand that, but you want to play with emotion. You want to play with energy.
Gamel now with 13. And it's a 12-point Fredericktown lead with 3:18 to go.
And if Madison Plains has any thought of coming back, they're going to have to convert each time down the court and create some turnovers. Again, Fredericktown's man-to-man defense, very, very solid.
Hatfield with a turnover. And we have seen a lot of that tonight in a late call by...
Well, they called a timeout, I believe.
Well, they are going to give the timeout with 2:58 to go. So it looks like Fredericktown is going to go on to play Harvest Prep.
Mm-hmm.
That is the game and the next matchup that everyone has anticipated, and it looks like now that's going to come to fruition.
A tough matchup. You're talking about another program that has had success over the years that Harvest Prep has been around, and it's going to be a tough matchup. But again, when you go in and play the number 3 team in the state on their home court, you expect that.
Be win number 21 on the season for the Freddies. Their only 2 losses, one to Centerburg on January 26th, the other to Granville on February 19th. They ended the regular season beating Mount Gilead 73-50. And that win was the win that made them co-champs in the KMAC with Centerburg.
Now, let me give you a little known fact. Yours truly grew up in Granville.
Oh.
Another's not too much different than a Fredericktown, except that it's a college town with Denison University being there, but a nice small town, nice community, who this year happens to have an outstanding girls basketball program.
So the Freddies look to close it out with 2:57 to go.
Now, if you're Fredericktown, you got to realize people are going to be swarming at the ball. People are going to come from behind. They've got to do something to get the basketball.
The Golden Eagles with only 4 team fouls with 2.5 to go. Freddies with 2 first-team All-KMAC selections and with 2 second-teamers. There's a block by Paul Bryant. And Gamel off balance at the other end, doesn't go, but he's going back to the strike.
Yeah, that was good defense by Madison Plains getting the block. But prior to that, again, some very good interior passing by Fredericktown. You mentioned earlier they're an unselfish basketball team. They seem to be an unselfish basketball team. If somebody's open, they're going to catch you with the basketball. And, you know, tonight I don't think they were playing on all cylinders. I don't think all 5 guys had a great game. I think by Tuesday they would like to see themselves, all 5 guys on the court, playing well against a good opponent.
Gamel now with 15. But the Golden Eagles down by 10 as we approach 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
And again, this is a big game. You mentioned in the pregame, sectional championship. So this is a chance for a championship. They've already won a piece of the league. Another championship tonight. Chance to cut down the nets. It's always exciting to win a sectional championship.
Yeah, whistle away from the ball.
That's only team foul number 4 on Madison Plains for this half. Again, penetration, pass, but good discipline. In the course of the game, that might have been a shot, but here they can hold it a little bit.
Well, you talked about good discipline, and then the ball was just thrown away. And Gamel comes down and launches a 3.
He's quite a player, isn't he?
He really is.
He's been fun to watch.
That's his 4th 3 of the night. And he makes it a 7-point ball game, but we're approaching a minute to go. And the Golden Eagles are just going to run out of time. Ball out of bounds. It's going to stay with Fredericktown. And timeout's going to be called with 1:06 to go. Fredericktown 48, Madison Plains 41. So now if you're on the Fredericktown side, you want to take care of the basketball and anticipate that they're going to come after you.
Right, and I'm sure that they have a couple of guys in mind that they would love to send to the free throw line, like Sheriff. Keep the ball in his hand if he gets fouled. That's a bonus. But also talk about, hey, they can quickly get back into this basketball game with threes. So whatever happens down here at the offensive end for Fredericktown,
you got to sprint back.
You got to sprint back, and you got to put a hand in the shooter's face.
Well, they have had 2 guys tonight that have shown the ability to hit it from the perimeter, Garrison being one and Gamel being the other. Between the 2 of them, they've got 4 threes. Ryan Ernst has a 3 that he hit at the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Well, you talk about Gamel, and he had 2 threes early in the first quarter. He hit one since, but since then he hadn't had very many good looks. Fredericktown's done a much better job of getting pressure on the ball. Now, Cunningham's an 80% free throw shooter, so I'm sure Coach would love to see the ball in his hands, see him go to the free throw line.
A quick foul called on Madison Plains. That's team foul number 6.
So we will go to the line after this.
And that is the 5th foul on Gamel. Now wait, they're saying that foul should not have been called on him. Yeah, it was on Ty Solis because Gamel's got 4 fouls. So he's the one you don't want committing that.
No, you don't. So right here's a good matchup, Well, you don't want him anywhere near the ball.
It's the 3rd foul on
right
Solers, and there he did it. And he knew it. But you know what? It's an unselfish play, really, by him. He knows that no matter what happens, the clock has to stop. And if it's him that commits it.
And that young man is a senior. As he runs off right away, his coach gives him a high five. I'm sure, not because of the foul, but because of the career that he had, the type of player that he is. And, Madison Plains is going to miss him.
Finished with 18 points on the night. So Caputo misses the front end of a 1-and-1.
Now if you're Fredericktown, don't give any great looks.
Now they need a quick shot at the other end. Uh-oh, there it is. Dalton Cunningham with a 3. And don't look now, it's a 4-point ball game with 39 seconds to go.
Well, exactly, and what happened is Madison Plains with a little dribble penetration. Are we going to see the replay here? Maybe. No, I guess not. That's all right. A little dribble penetration, and the defense helped off the shooter. Right now, with a 4-point lead, Madison Plains can go for 2s. But right there with a 7-point lead, you didn't want to give up any uncontested 3s. You didn't need to help against a dribble penetration, especially when the penetration was not going to get to the basket, was just dribbling into the lane.
So now the Fredericktown Freddies are going to inbound. You try to get a turnover.
Right.
If you get across half, then you want to commit that quick foul.
Or if there's a couple of people, and as we've mentioned, there are a couple of Fredericktown Freddies that have struggled this year from the free throw line.
Foul them early.
You might want to foul them early. It's a 1-and-1 right now. There's 17 fouls, so the next 2 fouls will just result into 1-and-1s.
Cade Carpenter, 51% from the line. Caputo, 48%. Hatfield, 48%. So you've got 3. And there's Hatfield with the ball.
And he wants to keep it.
And he's going to get the foul. It's going to be called on Andrew Hunt.
And I don't have Ty Hatfield's percentages from the free throw line, but I have to feel that he's a good free throw shooter.
It's
because
48%.
the last, I'm sorry?
48%.
Oh, is that right? Well, he wanted to get fouled right there. I mean, he kept the ball in his hands. He did that previously also.
Well, he hits the first one. That's a big one.
That is. Again, make or miss this. Everybody play man-to-man. You don't need to trap right now. You don't need to help. You can give up a foul. You only have 5 team fouls, but don't foul a shooter.
Well, he's 3 for 3 from the line. He's got 17, and he makes it a 6-point ball game. And the ball out of bounds, going to stay with Madison Plains.
With 28 seconds to go, you don't have to go for a 3, but boy, if you can get a good look, if you're Madison Plains, you'd love to get a 3 right here. Oh, nice screen.
Garrison, who hit some 3s in the first half. Hatfield with a rebound. It's going to be up ahead to Carpenter. And that could be the final nail in the coffin.
It got a little closer than I think Fredericktown wanted at the end.
And Madison Plains is not going to get a shot off the whistle with 5 seconds to go.
That's only 6 team fouls, but I think it's All for naught right here. Fredericktown, when they weren't playing their A game, still able to come out with a W today, which is big. That's all you want to do in tournament time.
Left-handed layup up and in by Ryan Ernst. And that is going to do it. Fredericktown will advance with a hard-fought 52-46 win over Madison Plains. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Alumni Roofing is a full-service commercial roofing contractor providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions. We provide service to much of north central Ohio, including areas of Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. Our services include preventative maintenance programs, roof health assessment, roof replacement, metal fabrication, and more. Call 419-884-9715 and mention this ad to receive a great free deal. Alumni Roofing would like to give a shout out to the senior class of 2021.
Knox is the third place I have delivered. And hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
No paywalls, just live sports, exclusively on the OH.Report.
We are back here at Fredericktown, where the Freddies have won a sectional championship, defeating Madison Plains 52-46. And I think this game, Coach, was a lot closer than the Freddies and their fans thought it would be.
Well, I know it's closer than I thought it would be. I was very impressed with Madison Plains for a 9-11 basketball team, and again, I don't think Fredericktown played their A game. You know, maybe they're saving it for Tuesday, which is fine, but that's a sign of a quality basketball team when you can win a championship game without it playing your A game.
Let's take a look at the final numbers, and it was a good shooting night for Madison Plains as the Golden Eagles, I believe those are the first half numbers.
Yeah,
we don't have the second half totals there.
Well, either way, in the second half, I thought the difference in the basketball game, Fredericktown defensively really picked it up. You know, you look at Madison Plains, and 13 turnovers I thought was big. Fredericktown especially went spurts where their defense was just outstanding, and they were able to create a little bit of offense from those turnovers. They did the same thing in the first half with their full court pressure, more in the half court in the second half. But I was very impressed with Fredericktown's defense tonight. And you know, Brian, as a former coach, that, you know, and you said tonight, sometimes your shooting might be off, but your defense should be pretty solid, pretty consistent every night. And even though they gave up 46 points, which is just under Madison Plains' average, I thought Fredericktown's defense was the difference tonight.
Well, we also said that, you know, you can have off shooting nights, and that can cost you a tournament win.
Right.
And you can also shoot the ball very well. Madison hit 7 threes, and that was what kept them in the ball game, and that's what got them the lead in the first half.
Well, it got them the lead in the first half, and then got them a little bit closer there late in the second half. But, you know, overall, Fredericktown's defense was quite good, and I thought the second half, Fredericktown dominated the boards. Now, you look at the rebounding numbers right there, it says 24-16. I'll have to admit that I'm the one who tried to keep the rebound, so I'm sure that's not totally accurate, but just viewing this, I think you could see where Fredericktown dominated the second half, rebounding the basketball.
Individually, Aiden Gamel led all scorers with 18 points, the outstanding guard for the Golden Eagles. And for Fredericktown, Ty Hatfield with 17, Cade Carpenter with 15. And those were the two, along with the defense of a guy like Thomas Caputo, that really kept things going and kept the season rolling for Fredericktown.
Right. You know, and again, I don't think they were on all cylinders tonight. I think you know, they'll come back and prepare and practice for Tuesday night's game, and in the hopes that, you know, all 5 players on the court are playing at the best basketball. Now, again, let me stress, you know, it wasn't because of lack of effort or lack of hustle. Sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't go in, but, you know, certainly you can't fault the coaches or the kids for not playing their A game because their effort was outstanding.
We're going to take a timeout. We come back, we'll have our player of the game right after this. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
Alumni Roofing is a full-service commercial roofing contractor providing commercial and industrial roofing solutions. We provide service to much of north central Ohio, including areas of Columbus, Cleveland, and Akron. Our services include preventative maintenance programs, roof health assessment, roof replacement, metal fabrication, and more. Call 419-884-9715 and mention this ad to receive a great free deal. Alumni Roofing would like to give a shout out to the senior class of 2021.
Knox is the third place I have delivered, and hands down, it has been the best.
We're thankful that we received excellent care so close to home.
Knox Community Hospital welcomes you to our new freestanding birthing center where you can safely labor, deliver, and recover in a state-of-the-art birthing suite.
It was empowering, and I couldn't think of a better place to bring Parker into the world.
Knox Community Hospital, elevating care.
No paywalls, just live sports. Exclusively on the OH.Report.
Time now for our alumni roofing player of the game. It is senior Ty Hatfield, 17 points as Fredericktown advances, and they will probably end up playing Harvest Prep. Congratulations on this sectional championship. First couple quarters, this was a little bit scary. Madison Plains came to play.
Yeah, they did. They really just got out and pushed. They made their shots, and we didn't push like we normally do.
Now, the one thing that I noticed, and this has probably been the strength for you guys all season long, your defensive intensity never wavered, and that's what got you back in the game.
Yeah, that first half we could have picked it up a little bit, but that second half we really brought it.
They also seem to do a nice job on taking some of your other scores out of the game. Sheriff didn't score at all in the first half, but you guys had some guys that were able to pick up the slack, including yourself.
Yeah, Caleb, he was cold today. He's normally hot, and same with Lincoln, but yeah, I kind of made my shots when needed.
Now, with all this stuff with COVID and, players not being, if you didn't know if someone's going to be there 1 week to the next, does this championship mean a little bit more to you guys?
Yeah, this means a lot, especially since it's our senior year. We've been wanting to do this all since middle school.
What has been the goal for you guys in your offseason? What were you talking about as this season approached? Obviously, you guys able to accomplish 20 wins and win the KMAC. What goals did you guys have set early on?
We wanted to win the conference and just go as far as we could in the tournament.
Do you know anything about the team that you're probably going to play next, Harvest Prep?
A little bit. We'll scout them eventually. Well, we've been talking about it a little bit, but we've been focusing on Madison Plains mainly.
Well, congratulations on a big, hard-fought win. This is something that you guys can savor and enjoy, but then you're going to be back at it next week. But congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to our player of the game, 17 points. And Madison Plains falls to Fredericktown 52-46. We'll get Coach back in here. He was a little shy about talking about the fact that, they were able to do what they had to do in that first half to pull away from a Madison Plains team that came to play.
Well, I think you're right. They never let Madison Plains get too big of a lead. I think it did get to 10. Did it get to 12 maybe? Which is probably more than what they really wanted. But, again, when they decided to turn it on in the second quarter, they limited Madison Plains to 8 points in the second, 6 points in the third, and that gave them a chance on a night when maybe they were struggling a little bit offensively to get back in the game and eventually take the lead.
Well, and for as many tournament runs as you have put your teams through, you're going to have games like this where you don't come out with we use the phrase the A game,
right?
But you do what you have to do. You just don't like to really see it coming out that first game,
right? And that's why they keep calling it survive in advance. You want to survive now. You want to try to be getting to the point where you're peaking, and certainly for the district that Fredericktown is in, they're going to have to play great basketball as well as the other teams are going to have to play great basketball. But still, you just want to come up with a W. You want to win a sectional championship, and here it is last weekend or 2 weeks ago they win at least a share of their conference, and tonight a sectional. That's big.
Now, I don't know, and obviously this is the first time I've seen Madison play, so I don't know if they're a team that normally plays zone. If it's something that, as the underdog, they put in thinking this is something that we have to do to knock off this team. But I'm guessing a team like Harvest Prep, they're going to go with what got them here, and they're not going to have to rely on something that they normally don't do to beat a team like Fredericktown.
Well, and I have not seen Harvest Prep this year, but traditionally they have very good athletes, very skilled basketball players. Basketball is their sport at Harvest Prep, so it's going to be a good matchup.
Well, with the win, Fredericktown is 21-2, and Madison Plains ends the season 9-12. The Freddies will advance to the district semifinals to take on probably Winchester Prep, and that's coming up, or Harvest Prep, coming up Tuesday night at 7. The final score today, Fredericktown 52, Madison Plains 46. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Jory Hollenbeck, and the fine camera work courtesy of Zach Finley and Max Sinatra. But most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, Fredericktown 52 and Madison Plains 46. You've been watching high school basketball live and free on the OH.Report, powered by BS Media Productions. Thanks again to our generous sponsors for making all this possible. Keep it locked to the OH.Report, your new home for live sports coverage in North Central Ohio and beyond. For Gregg Collins, I'm Brian Harter. So long from Fredericktown. I cannot see my contact is